Carly and the Reaperman is a critically acclaimed 3D platformer puzzler akin to Moss. While it initially came out in 2018, Resolution Games has since republished the title and ported it to Quest, which, to be honest here, turns this great co-op adventure into an absolute must-have. Now let's divide this review into two parts: the overall game itself, including graphics, gameplay, and story, and the differences from the new Quest version and the 2018 PlayStation VR one. Starting right off, Carly and the Reaperman is unlike any game I've ever played. Its reliance on cooperative play is so wonderfully executed that I'm genuinely shocked at how this isn't a more popular title. Basically, one person plays as Carly and controls the character as any traditional 3D platformer. You jump around and can interact with doors and certain things, but this character constantly is getting into impossible situations. Impossible in the sense that they are literally stuck. To combat this, the giant bag of bones known as the Reaperman must guide Carly by removing obstacles, placing objects, and just being a helpful hand. Moving across the virtual world is a breeze, and is done just by pulling yourself around. This allows you to navigate over to blocks, bridges, and various platforms easily and quickly. What makes this game work so well is the duality and variety at play here. Two players will have such contrasting experiences that in order to get the full picture, you really have to play as both. And there is a very simple way to do that, but I'll save it for later. Anyways, the game reaches its height during puzzles. Their engagement is at an all-time high, and they are all very diverse, and more importantly, clever. Like this one here from early in the game. It's such a simplistic, yet elegantly designed puzzle. Essentially, the Reaperman has to carefully guide Carly over an invisible bridge that only he can see. Despite its best intentions, it's actually pretty hilarious trying to frantically coordinate your movements with this giant skull. See, I've always felt that both 3D platformers and cooperative play with VR perfectly utilize the unique potential of the platform. So naturally, combining the two in such a beautiful way is blowing my mind. Speaking of beauty, the visuals of Carly and the Reaperman are fantastic. The graphics have an imbued sense of magic, curiosity, and ghostliness. It gives off a strange aroma and a very powerful atmosphere. This is partially due to the heavy, yet brilliant use of the colors black and purple. It helps make other colors pop and has a fantastical sort of feel. In addition, the otherworldly background art is extremely eerie. It may only be like a dome, but it still works wonders for the ambiance. Also, is it just me, or are the character designs great? They aren't too detailed or anything, but just so unique. Like, they really stick out for me. And this stands true for the entirety of the graphics. Throughout the game, they always make it feel less like a game and more like a world. I love the spectral, sinister, and mysterious feelings they emanate. Now, in order for this to actually be a world, though, it'd need a plot, or some form of an engaging story. And unfortunately, this is my biggest gripe with the game. Instead of at least trying to create a narrative, the devs opted to go with a lazy, pointless story. I mean, that is if you can even call it a story. Look, I didn't need much here. Just enough for me to wonder what'll happen next. A perfect example of this is Moss. In that game, there's an engaging and well-thought-out storyline that's very good. I also think the book format that game uses would fit here too. Though I completely understand that this is gameplay focused, and to be honest, it succeeds in many of the areas Moss falters. Next, let's discuss the improvements Resolution Games made to Carly and the Reaperman for the Oculus Quest. Frankly, there's only two, or at least two that I could find, but two essential ones that easily make it the definitive version of the game. These improvements being the ability to play solely in VR, and the ability to play solely by yourself. Before, one person would have to play on flat screen, and you would have to play with two players. Now though, you can easily just play as both characters by yourself and in VR. Sounds simple, but really it's so massive to increasing immersion. Really, there's not much else to say here. There are distinctive improvements over the original, the puzzles are great, the graphics are eerily terrific, co-op play is better than ever before, and to top it all off, it is on the portable platform that is the Oculus Quest. Carly and the Reaperman is an underrated masterpiece that is a must-have for every single Oculus Quest owner.